Hello YouTube, Dave here, and today I'm going to be taking a look at the Pathfinder Flip Mat Haunted Dungeons multi-pack. So this was sent to me by Paizo for the purposes of doing a review. Now they're not dictating what's said in the review, they are not pre-screening the review before it goes out. The opinions that I express in these videos are, as always, are 100% completely and totally my own. But I do want to thank them for sending this to me because over the past few years, I've really been a huge fan of these flip mats. Predominantly, most of the ones that I have in my collection are for the Starfinder role-playing game, and I've been doing reviews of those ever since I started collecting them, and I've always really enjoyed getting them. So with these ones, however, what's really cool about this is that this is a multi-pack. So there's actually two double-sided not double-sided poster mats, but double-sided flip mats that you can use for miniatures if you're using that for your combats. They can sort of help enhance your Pathfinder or really any role-playing game experience. So flipping it over, the size of these are 24 inches by 30 inches, and they are 1-inch squares on each side. So this one says, "Terror lurks behind every door. Dungeons have a way of becoming haunted by frightening foes, attracting ghosts, ghouls, and more. After laying forgotten for ages, these remote locations can grow into legendary sites, places whispered about by adventurers of all type, be it a creepy, isolated mausoleum on a hill, or a death-called subterranean temple, a long-forgotten underground necropolis, or twisting caverns next to a crypt. You'll find plenty of spooky maps for your players to explore in this set of haunted dungeons. 4 sinister locations that you can drop into any game, spend less time sketching, and more time playing." So these are usable with both wet erase and dry erase markers. You can also use permanent markers on the maps as well. To erase them, you simply rub dry erase marker over top, wait 10 seconds, and then it says to wipe off both marks with the dry cloth or paper towel. So it actually gives you the directions on how to use permanent marker on here as well. It's great if you're someone who runs games sort of infrequently, like I was running once a month games. So there were times that I'd want to have notes on the map. I didn't have any permanent markers, so I would end up taking a picture of it. But for me, I think, picking one of those up and trying that out might be a lot of fun to do. So this cost $24.99 US. That's the US retail price. In Canada, I'd want to say they are probably around $29.99 or $32.99 or something like that. Prices do vary based on the stores. And on the back here, it does show it shows all 4 maps here that are available. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take these out and sort of unfold them and have a look. But I also will be taking pictures of each of these maps, and you can check those out on my Instagram page. And I'll hope to remember to put a link to that in the description of the video. So without further ado, let's go ahead and pop this open and have a look at what's inside. Alright, so here we have our first map. So this one looks like a mausoleum or a large crypt that has some stairs that sort of descend up into the building proper, but then a set of stairs descending down into the depths. So this could be an interesting location to use to fight some undead, and like perhaps there's like a necromancer below, or some sort of undead creature like a lich, or there's all kinds of things that you can do with these. A group of bandits may simply be using it as their hideout. I mean, there's all kinds of different ways that you can utilize these maps, which is one of my favorite things about them. But we have the main building here, and then we also have this smaller crypt here with just a single sarcophagus in it. The other ones here just sort of have alcoves where bones, are piled up on shelves. So yeah, a really cool map here. It's on sort of a raised plateau as well. So sort of infiltrating that might be part of the adventure as well, which I think is pretty cool. There's even a little fenced off section further down here, as you can see. So again, just really cool, very, very well done in terms of just how visually interesting it is to look at these maps. They are very well designed. I mean, from a little stream sort of going through on the top left-hand corner there, going around just sort of the top part of the map with a little pond with lily pads in it. There's just really cool, set of nice touches that I like on these. And so what we're going to do is just flip it over now. And so here we have, this could very easily be what's underneath of the top part of the other side of the map, because we do have stairs actually descending down. So those 2 maps could be used for one adventure. You have sort of a flooded section of the tomb or the dungeon on the other side there, on the top side. So that is similar to where the stream was on the other side of the map. So we actually got to see sort of, how that stream may have ended up flooding that part of the dungeon. So if you wanted to have some like aquatic-based undead, you could simply, have that maybe drop off, or that they use that as, where they congregate. So there's all kinds of different things you could do with that. There's also a ladder here you can see going up, so that could be an alternate entrance. That could be underneath or hidden inside of the sarcophagus in that other crypt, so that could be another alternate means of entry or escape. You have just a giant bone pile over here. It's in what looks to be a pretty deep pit, because you can actually see that the pit there, sort of this ledge drops off, and just a massive pile of bones in there. And then you also have this image of what we consider the Grim Reaper, also done on the tiles there. So again, just a really cool touch there. And like I said, these are the wonderful things about these maps, is that just looking at these dungeons, or the whatever the images are that are depicted on the maps, you can sort of come up with some ideas. Now we also actually have some other stairs leading down to another level. So if you had another map that you wanted to use, or you could have these, blocked off by cave-ins, or they could just simply be bricked over. There's a lot of stuff that you could do with these, and I just really, really love these maps, because it's always a great way of just sort of helping creativity bloom, I guess. That sounded really kind of pretentious, but it's still, a really cool maps to have. And like I said, I just love the ideas that you can get from them. So here we have the next map in the pack. And so once again, this is something that you could, potentially tie into the other, the map that I just shown, because here we have some stairs that descend from an upper level here and here. So we've got a couple different locations where we can, again, connect all of these together. And I've done a couple of the multi-packs before. I've looked at some, or at least I've purchased a couple. And this is the first one that feels really well connected in terms of the various maps that we have. With at least, at this point, 3 of the 4 very much being usable all together in concert with one another. We have some like demonic or devil type of statuary here. So this could be like a cult or something. We also have, again, another flooded chamber. So this would probably be a better location for some aquatic undead, because that could be an area that's really flooded, because, there's no saying how steep those stairs are or how far down that they go. So it just, again, or how high up the water comes. So again, I just love the attention to detail on everything here. And then finally, the last side of the map, we have some caverns. So this could be something that, again, you could connect these as well. This is the first one of the 4 that aren't necessarily the easiest to connect together. But then again, you could just simply have the lower levels from the first side here, the ones that go down. You could simply have, them connect to like maybe one of these, because we do have some stairs here that again descend from an upper level. So again, there's just lots of things that you can certainly do with these. But again, having a nice set of cavern maps is also very handy, because there's a lot of times that you just find yourself in caverns, and I've drawn a few cavern maps before, and I mean it's easy because you can just do like the squiggly line kind of thing. But the detail that we get here, and again just the images that we see here, can create some very interesting scenario ideas. So for example, what creature might have emerged from this pit, or what may have burrowed down into here from above. Again, we have some bone piles, we have an actual like finished structure that opens up into the underground caverns. We have presumably an underground river or stream going through there. So there's just, again, a lot of things that I can look at here and try to find some inspiration for creating adventures. And I've done that before with other maps. I just would look at the map and immediately have an idea. It's like, maybe it'd be kind of cool to do this with it. And some of my favorite adventures that I've ever run have been with those kinds of maps. I just, looked at it and, had an idea that came to me, and it was a lot of fun to put together. So, again, these are really, really fantastic products. And when it comes to like these types of flip mats, be it for Pathfinder or I have a Starfinder one that I'm going to be doing a video for very shortly as well. There's just a lot of potential in them. And you can certainly get a lot of use out of them. I have had someone say that they feel that they'd only be able to get like one use out of a single map at any given time, and like once you use the map, it's something that you never be able to use again because your players know it. And I kind of disagree with that, because I've actually used the same map for multiple adventures. The key is just to space everything out and not use them too often. But at the same time, if you're doing a campaign where there's a particular organization, they may design their strongholds or their dungeons or their crypts in a very similar manner. So using the same map layout could make sense for that, or again, just have some time in between them. But I think that these are always fantastic purchases to get, and even if you only use each map once, if the scenario takes a week or 2 weeks or a month's worth of gaming sessions to go through to explore everything, then to get there and explore everything, then I think you've still gotten your money's worth out of these. So really enjoyable to look through and to contemplate stuff for. And I think that these are always a solid purchase. So I definitely recommend checking these out, especially if you are into using miniatures and a grid for your tabletop RPGs, which is something that I personally prefer to do. So these maps are always fantastic from that perspective. So anyway, let me know in the comments below if any of you have picked up these maps or maps similar to them. What are some of the adventures that you designed based off of purchasing one of these types of things and getting inspiration from what you see depicted on the map? Because I always love to hear your guys' creative stories, because 99.99% of the time you guys come up with stuff that's way better than anything I could ever hope to imagine. So anyway, thanks again to Paizo for sending this to me, and thank you each and every one of you who's going to take time out of your day to watch this video. I hope it was helpful, and I hope you saw something cool on these maps that you may want to go and pick them up for yourself for. So again, thanks for all your support, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take care.